Hi everyone, welcome back on my channel. Today I would like to show you how I do powder brows procedure. But first I would like to explain a little bit about my client's eyebrows. Here you can see how my client's eyebrows look like now. As you can see, she has a missing part over here and she already had brows tattooed before she visited me. I was removing her brows 2 times before and now we are ready to do cover up. I don't really like this shape that much, but I need to work with what I have. So I need to go over this old permanent makeup and I will see what I can create. So now I'm going to clean and disinfect the brows, then I will plug them a little bit, I will create the shape and we can start. I need to clean the brows properly from the makeup. Don't forget to properly clean also area around the eyebrows, over here too. Now let's plug the brows. Christina does not have that much brow hair, so it's quick and easy. I am already thinking about the shape. So let's start with the shape over here. Middle, where the brows will start. Now we need the highest point and the end of the brow. Here we can see the end of the brow and there is also the old permanent makeup. We need this part, move over here. Okay. And we also need this part to move over here. We need to make sure that we copy the old powder brows. I don't want her to have 2 tails, or after the healing process she will have like 2 or 3 types of colors. Now I will only create a shape with a pencil and we are done and ready to tattoo. Because I need to cover up these brows, I need to use stronger pigments. So I will be using hybrid pigments. Hybrid pigments contains organic and inorganic components, ingredients. And they will stay more in the skin. I don't like to use mineral pigments for cover-ups when I do cover-ups, but I don't do cover-ups so often. Now I'm testing these cartridges by the company AS and I would like to use them today for the procedure. I am going to use one round liner 0.35 long taper. I will be working with my favorite machine OMG. And I will be using my wireless power supply. My length of the needle will be around 1.5 to 2 millimeters. I will be using these 3 colors for my client today. Let's start with the outline first. Short movements back and forth. Slowly moving forward. When you are going closer to the head of the brow, you should be a little bit lighter over here. My client said she likes darker eyebrows, so that means I will be working much more on the top part over here. I will not be creating such a beautiful gradient, but I will be putting a little bit more color on top, because I want her to have a beautiful brows and the color won't be everywhere the same. We are going to check how it looks like. Yeah, we can see the color and it looks really nice. My movements are very close, one next to each other. It's because I really need to create a good saturation, because I need to cover the old permanent makeup. So I need a lot of pigment in the skin. I am using pendulum movement back and forth. Now I am using a little bit shorter strokes and my hand movement is quite fast. My pressure is really light. I never create dark eyebrows with one pass or one layer. I like to layer my color one by one. I really like to do maybe 3 or 4 layers, but I want to make sure that I am not destroying the skin and I am not creating a trauma. This is the worst thing you can do when you're tattooing. If you create a big trauma, healed result will not be so nice. Don't forget to stretch in 3 different directions and make sure you are working with 90-degree angle. Let's check how it goes. Yeah, I really like it. It looks really beautiful. We can continue. I can see some small bleeding and I can see some plasma. So there is definitely something going on. I am testing this needle and I really like it, but now I feel like there is something going on and I am thinking about changing the needle. Here we can already see some color and it looks really nice. And I want to start with the second layer. Needle feels okay right now. And I really love the pixels it creates. using pendulum movements, back and forth movements, going more up. Okay. So this technique I am using right now is a little bit different because I am really trying to pack the color inside. First of all, I need to put a lot of color because my client wants very dark eyebrows. And second of all, I need to cover up the old eyebrows. But I can see some blood and plasma, and I don't think it's really good. I think it can be also because of the skin. Sometimes it just happens. Skin is the biggest organ in our body, and we need to work very softly and we need to observe the skin properly. Pigment is going into the skin really nicely. So I am going to continue with this needle for now, and we will see how it goes. I decided to talk a little bit more during my tutorials, and I will explain a little bit more about what I'm doing, what kind of needle I'm using, what kind of machine, what kind of eccentric the machine has. And I will be also talking a little bit more about the technique I'm using and why I do these kind of things for the different types of people, because I think that you should really think about type of the skin first, thickness of the skin second, and you should observe your work. You should see how it goes and how it feels. If the skin is hard and if the needle is not really easy to work with, you should always change the needle and try something new or something different, because sometimes you don't know if it's the needle or if it's because of the skin and what is going on in general. And if I have some problems while I'm working, I always try to use different stuff and try to understand what is going on. I am going to use anesthetic after these two passes. I will apply a thin layer of anesthetic. I will use a foil on top, and when you see the skin is becoming whiter, that means that the anesthetic is already working. While we will be waiting for the other brow, we can start over here. Don't forget to stretch properly. To your side, away from you, and to the side. Outline first. As I said, I do quite a good outline on top over here too. Here you can see that I created the outline. The outline is everywhere the same. Normally I don't do such a strong outline over here, but as I already said, I really need to put the pigment evenly everywhere. I want to create just a very soft front. Here we can see the beautiful outline. Everything is inside the skin. Now I will start from here, from the tail, putting a lot of color into the skin and slowly moving forward. Don't forget about 90-degree angle. I am working on the other brow right now, and I am trying to really make sure that my pressure is the same. Sometimes from the beginning, when I started in PMU, I had two different eyebrows. One of the brow was always lighter or darker than the other one. And it was because I didn't have the same pressure on both brows. Now, when I change my side always, I try to make sure that I take care of it and I really do the brow with the same pressure. I will do the first pass here. I will leave the pigment on the brow and I will move to the other side. Stretching and 90-degree angle is super important during the whole procedure. Shorter movements. And very close to each other. The reason why I don't want to clean the eyebrow and I want to leave the pigment on is that the pigment will penetrate into the skin a little bit better, and then when I come back in the next few minutes, the eyebrow will become darker. Do you like to do cover-ups? Let me know in the comments because I am very curious. As you can see, I put a lot of color everywhere, but my front of the brow is very soft. My client is numb right now and I can work on the eyebrows. I am going to do a third layer, the last one, but a very good one. I will go 2 to 3 times over the whole eyebrow. Working properly also on the top part of the brow. I want to move this brow hair over here and I want to continue in the front of the brow. longer strokes, longer movements, and a little bit far away from each other because we are already at the beginning of the eyebrow and we don't want to do it too strong. I am working on the second layer. The color is very dark but super nice. It looks like a rich chocolate. Not too cool, but not too warm either. I really love it. And now this is my third layer out of 3 layers, and in general we had 6 layers. I am working on the details now. I want to make sure that I have enough color in the skin. I think we will need correction procedure and I cannot wait to see these brows healed. I hope I will manage to take a footage from the healed result and we will create a beautiful video for you and you will also see a healed result of these eyebrows. At least you will see what to do in the situation when you have a client with these kind of eyebrows and how it can possibly heal. Yeah, it looks quite strong, but this is what we need. Now let's look at this eyebrow. Ah, it's quite strong, right? After only one pass. This is why it's good sometimes to leave the pigment on the eyebrow. It will become much darker. Now I am going to work on the second layer. I do everything completely the same as on the other brow. Short movements, quite close to each other, and packing color into the skin. No gradient. Now I am working on the last layer. Short movements. Keep in mind that this procedure is not about creating a beautiful gradient and insta eyebrows, but this procedure is about covering the old eyebrows. So you really need to pack the color into the skin to make sure there is nothing left untattooed. Last touches and we are done with the eyebrows. A little bit color over here to the front, longer strokes and a little bit far away from each other. Now I want to clean small brow hair over here. And we are almost done. And this is how the eyebrows look like. There is a lot of color packed in the skin and I cannot wait to see it healed. I really love it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am very grateful for you and I will see you in the next video. Bye!